What up, everybody? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm doing the weekly forecast, aka the cosmic weather, for the week beginning August 2nd, 2020. We're already in the month of August. Oh my god, this year, you guys. Anyway, August 2nd through August 9th of 2020. So, what do we have cracking? What do we have popping right now? What's the vibe? What's the mood like this week? Okay. So first of all, we are building up to a full moon in Aquarius. And but let me just make an announcement real quick. Um I will not have monthly horoscopes by sign for the month of August. I do apologize for that. Um this relates kind of to the full moon and some of the transits. As you guys know, I've already told you guys that the planet Uranus is in Taurus, and it's sitting like right on my natal sun in Taurus at 10 degrees Taurus, like right there. And it's like aspecting other things in my chart. And from one week to the next, things change. Actually, from one day to the next, things change. It's like, okay, your schedule is gonna change to this, and then now you've been extended another month with the same schedule, and then now it's being taken away, and then no, actually it's gonna be 2 more months. I tell you guys, no bullshit, within like a couple of days, that is what my life has been this past week. So yeah, that's why I'm like, I just gotta play things by ear. I'll let you guys know when I'm accepting clients again, new clients, and when I'm gonna be able to do the horoscopes. I cannot plan anything. Uranus laughs at plans, let me tell you right now. Okay, he laughs at plans, and then he throws a little lightning bolt at you. It goes bam, there's your plan, bitch. Like, that's what I think of it. Let me send you on another path. Bam, haha. Oh, how about this other one now? Boom. Okay, yes. How you gonna handle that now? Let me kick back and watch and laugh. That's Uranus for you, okay? And he's buzzing all over my life even more intensely now. So, no August horoscopes by sign. I will try to get out a monthly all signs cosmic weather for the entire month of August video. But I keep getting pulled in different directions. So I may or may not get that out, but let me at least get the consistent weekly out right now. Okay, so the 2nd through the 9th, what's cracking? So now I was going to tell you, we are building up to a full moon in Aquarius, and it's going to be making an aspect to Uranus. But before that, we have on the 2nd of August, the sun and Uranus exactly squaring each other. Now, it's like really early. The exact square is like early in the day or the morning. Some people may be feeling super restless. If you're feeling like hella restless right now, that could be why. Uranus's energy, it is like, it rules electricity, it rules lightning. So just imagine energetically how you feel being like you're struck by lightning, there's electricity, like you're electrically shocked. Okay, that's why Uranus, it is associated with making your nerves bad, you know what I'm saying, like having a lot of nervous energy. And sun square Uranus, that's a tense aspect. It leads to frustration, so people can be frustrated and tense and nervous. So if that's what you're feeling right now, you guys, that is why. Okay. Actually, and then Uranus is 10 degrees of Taurus. Lord have mercy on us Tauruses. If you're a Taurus and you were born the last week of April, the first week of May, let me know how you're doing. Okay, like, just spill the tea to everybody, so everybody can know what this transit does. Or if you're an Aries anything, and you, from like, I think it was like 2011 to 2018, I want to say, if you're an Aries during that period of time, what was your life like? Like, excuse me, how did you guys survive all the wildness of it all? Like, I don't know. Just let us know. Let us Taurus folk know. But the sun in Leo, and if you're a Leo sun, If you were born, if this is around your birthday, like the last week of July to the first week of August, how are you surviving right now? Because Uranus is directly squaring you, hitting you as well. So it can make you feel all this nervous energy, and Aquarians too. Aquarians within the first like 10, the first the first like 10 degrees or so of Aquarius, 10 to 15 degrees or whatever. I'm gonna say like 5 to 15 degrees of Aquarius, especially. How you doing? How are you guys doing? Because Uranus is squaring you too. But everyone, it doesn't matter, regardless of sign, is getting a taste of this energy. Okay. So what does the weather look like? Fucking hella lightning storms right now. All right. Lots of lightning and thunder this week, like energetic lightning and thunder. Seriously. So, Sun square Uranus, the sun is expression. It's expression of your ego. It's expression of yourself. It's expression of your personality, of even your appearance. So a lot of people, it's like somebody messaged me the other day and they're like, what's with I'm noticing a lot of people are getting like hella tattoos right now. Like a lot of people are getting new tattoos, or people are getting tatted up all the time. I know, right? But she said she observed that, and I said, girl, it's Sun square Uranus. People want to express themselves in rebellious ways. And although tattoos are more like the norm now, it's still a form of rebellion in a way. Like, we're not all the way into the age of Aquarius yet to where it's completely normal for anyone of like almost any age to be tatted up. You know what I'm saying? It's not quite there yet, so it's still considered an act of rebellion to get a tattoo. So that's why. As a matter of fact, not too long after, probably as this is uploading, I will be getting a new tattoo if all goes well. Because, Uranus likes to, you plan and you schedule, and then he laughs, right? But under this Sun square Uranus, y'all, this energy is a little too much for me, and I'm getting a tattoo. And if it works out and does happen, I will be showing it off to you guys on my IG, okay? So, because it has a lot to do with this transit right here, okay? So, just stay tuned for that. But everybody can be feeling this way regardless of sign. Tattoos, piercings, changing your hair to a totally different style, a different color, different cut, different wig than usual, different whatever you do with your do. All right? Because also Leo rules the hair. So we have the sun in Leo square Uranus. That can be your you change up your hair in like a wild way, that you do a different style you've never done before, things like that. And also your clothes, you can just want to wear wild things that you usually don't wear, whatever you consider to be wild. I mean, if you usually dress pretty casual, pretty chill, maybe you wearing a freaking orange shirt is wild to you, and so you're like, I think I'm gonna rock some orange today. This is out of the ordinary, but I'm just gonna do it. I don't care what anyone thinks. That's kind of the vibe. So Sun square Uranus, but yes, very tense energy, very nervous energy. People, one of my astro homegirls, Apollonia, and I, we always use the term Uranian outbreak, because Uranus, it makes you feel like energetically you have broken out in hives. Okay, like it's not like you can see. it's not hives that you can see physically. Okay, it is energetically you've broken out in hives. So like your energy is very you know what I'm saying, like, and you feel like you need something to calm your energy down. So I guess a remedy for this, I mean, on the second, when this energy is really popping, the moon is in Capricorn and then it's in Aquarius. So it's just, I don't know what energy. And then we've got Venus in Gemini and Mars in Aries, you guys. Like, we've got nothing but fire and air mostly in the sky. With the planets that are the closest to the Earth, We have Mercury in water, Mercury in Cancer. So, I mean, you can tap into watching some old movies, looking at some old photo albums and memories of things that are good, not anything that triggers any crazy emotions, because that's going to make you want to rebel even more and do things more based on emotion than logic that are kind of wild, and then you can regret it later. So what I'm saying, I don't know, listen, I've been saying this to myself every day with Uranus sitting right here buzzing on me. I don't even know what to do with myself. That's what I've been saying. I don't know what to do with myself right now. Like, if it's weird, like this Sun square Uranus, it can make you feel like unfulfilled. Like you are constantly searching for something to inspire you, or if you're not being struck by lightning energetically and feeling inspired all of a sudden to do something dope, or you don't have an outlet for that feeling of wanting to rebel and just change things and do something different. If you don't have things already just like hitting you and pulling you in that direction, you may feel like you want to seek it out. Like you're lacking in inspiration, you're lacking in change, and then that can make you jump out there and do some things that you may regret the consequences of. So just be aware of that, you guys. This energy, it is pretty wild. This isn't like some new phenomenon or anything. This happens once a year, every year. Whatever sign Uranus is in, the sun will eventually square it. It'll oppose it. It'll conjoin it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But this is just this week. This energy is hot. And I'm leading up to the full... Okay, the moon enters Aquarius on the 2nd. It enters Aquarius on the 2nd, but the full moon, it happens, it comes to its peak on August the 3rd. So, wherever you guys are at, it could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon, but it's at some point on August 3rd. This is when we have the full moon in Aquarius. So the moon is in Aquarius and the sun is in Leo, and they oppose each other. And then we have both of them making a square aspect to Uranus, because they're at 11 degrees and Uranus is at 10 degrees, right? So we have this T-square between the moon, the sun, and Uranus. T-squares are like an opposition and two squares. Okay, they're all frustrating aspects. But when I say that they are frustrating, tense, or quote unquote negative aspects, and even look at red lines, like that's scary as fuck, right? Like, like red alert, that is kind of how in like textbook astrology, we will put it out there like, you need to watch out for these type of aspects. But they do open doors energetically. They open doors for you. They open doors for opportunities. They open doors for newness in some sort of way, because they are frustrating. So you feel like something's got to give. And full moons already do that within themselves. With them being in opposition between two luminaries every month. You know what I'm saying? And then you add aspects from another planet too. A wild card joker planet like Uranus that brings the unexpected. So that's why, it can lead to tension, to where you feel like you have to break free. Like there's two opposing sides. There's, tension that has to break. Something has to give. And a lot of astrologers say that when you have a T-square going on, you look to a T-square means that there's planets in 3 out of 4 signs that are within a certain element. Like we have the mutable, the fixed, and the geez Louise. It's still early for me, you guys. That's why I still sound like motherfucking Marge Simpson and her sisters. Like, I have the old smoker lady voice still. Okay. There's the mutable, the fixed, and the cardinal. There we go. Okay, the modalities. Okay, that's what I meant to say. I knew it would come to me. Hello. This is like my third language here. Okay, so anyway, you have 3 out of 4 signs that are in a certain modality. So the fixed modality is Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. So when you have a T-square, there's 3 of them. Well, what about the 4th one? What's popping there? So it's like when you have a T-square, you turn to the missing sign in that modality, which is Scorpio. So you maybe relieve the T-square by diving into Scorpio things, like maybe just being more low key instead of being erratic and try to be low key, go within, have a lot of introspection, reflection, dive deep within something. Don't just accept the surface level of things and do things based on the surface in the moment. Really go within and investigate things before you take action. Stuff like that, Scorpio things. So this full moon in Aquarius, just in general, Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius. So they represent the same things: rebellion and radical changes and erraticism, but also the freedom of expression. Freedom of expression to be your true authentic self and all that jazz. And they rule social media and the internets. Okay. It's so funny. At one of my jobs, my main job, I'm processing some paperwork right now and there's like, usually like elderly people will write on it, like if we have something that says, oh well, you can go online, and the paperwork says you have an option to go online or something like that, and older people always want to write this long ass letter about how not everybody uses the internet or has an evil computer. Like, oh my God, really? Yeah. So I'm just like, yo, that's crazy. It's funny though. They usually, or they'll put a sticky note, like, they'll write a note or put like a little sticky note, on their paperwork that says, not everybody uses the internet. Or, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, we're giving you the option to go online. And you didn't take that option, obviously, if you have paperwork right here in front of us. Like, we don't need to know that you don't think the internets are necessary and they're evil. Like, oh my God, it's so funny. But anyway, so we have the sun and moon opposing each other in Leo and Aquarius. So this axis in general is about, Leo is about the self. And I know Leos will be like, oh my God, I'm a Leo and I'm not selfish, blah, 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 blah. Nobody gives a shit, okay? The sign of Leo is very, very in tune with itself. It's worried about shining out there, getting attention. And the Leo Aquarius axis, it's not just like, oh, Leos are selfish. I'm not just saying that. I mean, like, it's about being center stage, you yourself being center stage and in the spotlight some sort of way, going on your own path, creating your own anything is Leo. And then Aquarius is like, okay, like Leo energy is about you making a name for yourself, you yourself being known under a name or a title or whatever, right? That's Leo. Aquarius is being known along with a group, under the umbrella of the name of a group, a corporation, real world, real shit terms. If you are like, I'm into the arts, okay, and I used to know how to bust a few moves in the dance world. I can't really say that anymore, but I used to, okay? So like a dance crew, for example, if you are a dancer, say you have a lot of skills in dancing, you don't mind showing them off. That's Leo. This is like, you're a dancer, you're solo. You have a crowd around you and they're all watching you get down. And you have your name on your jacket. You have this fly jacket. It's got your name, your dancer name on the back of it. It's just you. And then as soon as you exit the stage or the crowd or whatever, you get props for you just dancing as you, versus you going out there and dancing and you're representing a crew, right? You have this dope ass jacket, it has your name, but it also has your crew's name. So you're repping for a crew. So if you win a competition, your crew wins too. even if you guys are not all dancing together actively at the same time to win something, you're representing that crew no matter what. No matter what you do, when you post things on social media, if you are wilding out, if you represent that crew, people are going to come after your crew. They're going to be like, oh, well, your crew member said this and this. That must mean that all of you guys, the whole motherfucking crew, must be down with these ideals and these opinions that this person has. And it's like that all for one for all type of thing. Okay, so that's the difference between that's the Leo and the Aquarius axis. But Leo is like, I do this for me, and when I voice my opinion, it's my opinion. I'm not affiliated with anyone else. No, my opinions don't matter. They don't represent anybody else. Anybody else's opinions don't represent me or views or whatever. So that's this axis. So are you going to run solo and put on your own show and get props for you just being you? And you're the only one that gets credit for your talents? Or are you a part of a group or a collective that's under the same umbrella that is going to get credit? If one person does something, the whole crew gets credit. If one person wins a competition that has a cash prize and you're part of a crew, it gets dispersed through the whole crew. You know what I'm saying? Versus if you do solo, it's all your money. That's the Leo Aquarius axis. I know there's probably a lot more esoterical, symbolic sounding shit that can be said about this axis, but I like to put things in like regular real world terms too. You know what I'm saying? Some people like a lot of the lingo and the jargon that's like written in books. It's like some people can't really grasp astrology that way. Like they don't understand astrology because it's not put in like everyday conversational terms, and I really try my best to put it out there like that. And I wanted to give a shout out and credit where credit is due to Alyssa. Well, she used to go by Sharp, but Trahan, I think that's how you say Trahan. She goes under the Divine Venus now. But she's an OG here on YouTube. I was like, I just browsed through I guess she had a little bit of drama with somebody trying to, I don't know, something about like who started this shit first with YouTube videos talking about the signs or whatever. But listen, she is an OG. She is the one that introduced us to astrology with regular people terms, regular people talk. And I'm pretty sure that's her Taurus moon. You know what I'm saying? Because Taurus moons and Taurus anything, Taurus Mercury, you know, that's how we like to present things. We don't like to use all the big words and try to sound like we're so knowledgeable by throwing like all these extra words in. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to do that. We just talk to you like we're here down to earth. We're all here on earth. Let's just speak like earthlings, you know? So she's the first one that introduced astrology in that way to the mainstream, and I have to give her props for that, because sorry, plug in my charger. But she opened the door for little peoples like me and other people that I know to just talk astrology like it's just like another language. It's another, you know what I'm saying? It's another way to converse. Everything has a language to it. Even like at your workplace, if you work, like say you work a desk job, there's all these acronyms and, you know what I'm saying, all this terminology that everybody uses every day. That's a language that pertains to that job. You can't go and speak acronym outside of your job. You know what I'm saying, to a regular person off the street. Like, you gotta put the BST and the PPP, and then out comes a VRT, and then not everybody's gonna understand that shit. Okay, but when you're at your job, that's the language you speak. So astrology is a language. I hope I'm helping people to understand and to speak the language. Okay, now moving along, what this full moon can bring, generally speaking, is some sort of change that may be out of the blue. Wherever Aquarius lands in your chart, and or Leo and or Taurus, is, you know what I'm saying, is what changes. It determines what changes can happen for you. So, but everybody may have something suddenly rapidly change and shift unexpectedly, or it could just be something internal. Internally, you have a shift within you. Something is woken up inside of you, because this is some damn lightning striking, like I'm telling you guys. It's like you're sleeping and you get struck by lightning energetically, and you have an epiphany about something. You realize something you didn't realize before, and it's something that is usually pretty impactful if it's a lunar event. People can have these epiphanies and wake up calls and stuff like that at any time, on any day. But under a lunar event like this, it's usually something that's it really sticks with you. You remember it. It's something that does shift and change something in your life, or your perspective, or your feelings on things, or your views about things, whatever. So, yeah, that's the real big event this week, you guys, is the full moon on the 3rd of August. Now, we also have Mercury opposing Saturn. And this is a grounding energy amongst the wildness that the full moon can cause. Now, I would say that globally or internationally, this full moon, what we may see on a collective scale, could be something to do with protesting, rioting, some social justice stuff. I know we've been seeing a lot of that already, but there could be some major announcement, or so I don't know, something that's major with any of those. And also the internet. The last few days I've been seeing headlines that say that the American president is trying to ban TikTok in the US because of this, that, or the other. You guys can go watch the videos, whatever the hell he's talking about. I don't know. I don't always know what the hell that dude is saying. I don't really speak Gemini like that very well. Actually, he has Mercury in Cancer, and he's a Gemini. Lord have mercy. I dated one of those. It's just, ooh. It is, it's hard to comprehend. From my perspective, being a Mercury in Taurus, I'm super logical, and I'm just like blinking with my mouth open like, what? But anyway, he's saying something about TikTok being possibly banned. And TikTok is an app, if you don't know, a social media app that's like booming right now, especially amongst super young crowds. I have a young kid, and he's had TikTok since last year. And of course I go through his phone, because he only has a phone to play video games on. He's still at that age. But he downloaded TikTok, and I'm like, what the hell? What is this? And he made a couple videos with his cousin. She's little too, and they were funny and cute. And I like changed some settings in there, and I go through his stuff. I'm a Scorpio mom, okay? Like, we will go through our kids' shit like that. Like, you are not going to be doing anything inappropriate, and I will find out if you are, one way or another. So anyway, he's had TikTok, and I was like, what is this? And it's blown up since then. But it's a social media app nonetheless. Uranus rules social media, and so does Aquarius. So we may see a final announcement or decision made, or something to do with the internet or social media, or like that app or something. Some sort of changes or laws put into place, especially because we still have this lineup in Capricorn, and we're going to continue to have this through the rest of the year, until December. And remember, Capricorn and Saturn, they rule the presidents, the big leaders of our countries, our cities, our states, and the governors, and the this and that and whatever. I'm not political at all, so I don't know all the terms, but any type of leaders or authoritarians that can implement laws and rules and structure and all that stuff, and disciplinary actions, that is Saturn, and that is also the sign it rules, which is Capricorn. So we still have this lineup popping. So yes, they're gonna continue to like change laws and play around with different new things, and say, well, now we should do this, but now we should do that, like, and try to enforce it upon the masses. So we may see something like that with the full moon in Aquarius. But we do have Mercury opposing Saturn. And like I said, this is a grounding energy. Mercury is our communication and our thoughts and our logic. And when it opposes Saturn, okay, listen, I'm going to be really real about this aspect. The good and the bad. First the bad, and then I'll get to the good. I'll leave it on a good note. Mercury in Cancer is already very emotional, not logical at all. It's emotional intelligence. So there's still some intelligence there. I'm not totally knocking it, but logical intelligence, hell to the no. Mercury in Cancer, it's not that. It's just all about feelings and, well, you made me feel this way and therefore I did this. It's like, but that didn't make any damn sense for you to do it. Yes, it did, because I feel blah blah blah. Like, oh Lord. So that's Mercury in Cancer. And it's nostalgic. It reflects a lot on the past in a very emotional way and can dwell there. I say Cancerian energy has that. There's this really old song. I think it might be from the 80s. But it's like, what about me? It isn't fair. That is... like, that's a Cancerian theme song. Let me tell you. I have a lot of Cancers close to me. Young and older and in between, and they all have that type of an attitude about things. They get in there, what about me though? And it's like, oh my god, you don't see the logical reason why you weren't included or why someone, and no one is skipping you on purpose for any personal reason. Everything is personal with Cancerian energy. So with Mercury here, this is a collective thing, you guys. Like, we can all be kind of having our moments of feeling like that and thinking like that. And then, so it's like, what about me? It isn't fair, And then it's opposing Saturn, which Saturn on a negative side can be associated with depression because it's heaviness. It's whatever you feel like there's a heavy weight on you in life, and the only way out, like, is difficult. Is to climb this really rocky terrain or mountain that's super high up there, and that's how you see obstacles in life, as being this really super, like, rocky tall ass mountain. And you're like, how am I going to get up there? Oh my God, like the top, yay. But it's like, well, how am I going to get there? It's so difficult. That is how Mercury opposing Saturn can make some people feel. Now, this aspect is building up, but it is exact on the 3rd. And then we have a full moon. So, some people can get into bouts of like, that type of thinking, like depressive thinking, like, oh, everything's so hard, and then you break out in energetic hives and want to wild out and do something to rebel against responsibility, because Saturn does rule responsibility and consequences of stupid actions, So just be aware of the energy, you guys. But the good thing about Mercury opposing Saturn amongst all this wild, rebellious full moon energy is the fact that it can make us think twice about things. Because Mercury in Cancer could be very cautious. It's very worry-wart, like a Cancer rules mothers, so it's like a mom who is so worried about their kid, like overly worried. Like, oh my God, I don't want you to cross the street ever in your life because you could get hit by a car. When it's like, realistically, logically, not every single person who crosses the street every fucking day gets hit by a car, But like a worry-wart, overly worried mother will always be thinking like that. That's Cancerian energy. And then it's opposing Saturn, which will make you think of the consequences. Like, oh, well, if I do this, then this might happen, and I don't want to get, any disciplinary actions like that. This is like a conversation between moms and pops, to be honest. Like, mom is like, I don't want anything bad to happen to them because then I'd cry, and then Papa Saturn and Cap is like, well, and then plus, if you cross the road and then this happens, then this can happen and this dispense, like more in a matter-of-fact type of a way. So there's like the matter-of-fact logic and the emotional, oh my God, what if this happens? So that's Mercury opposing Saturn. So the good thing about it is it can stop us from doing things that are too rebellious and dumb AF under a very rebellious full moon. It can make us think about things, and then we can still rebel. We can still express ourselves uniquely and everything, but not in any way that's going to lead to something we'll regret later, basically. Okay? Alrighty then. So we have on the 4th, this is when Mercury goes into Leo. On the 4th. There's a lot happening this week. So on the 4th, Mercury goes into Leo. Now, because Mercury is now direct, Um, he's no longer retrograde, causing a bunch of nonsense and BS. He's now moving forward, and he's gonna go into Leo. Okay. Well, it looks like it's later in the day where I'm at, and it could be counted as the 5th if you are more east. Okay, if you're like in the eastern US and beyond, it can be the 5th of August. But we have Mercury here in the sign of Leo. So Mercury's going to be in Leo only for a couple weeks because now he's moving normally at his normal speed, which is very quick. So when Mercury's moving, not in retrograde or in shadow or anything like that, he only stays in a sign for like 2 weeks. So he's going to be in Leo, which is a good shift. So then we're not going to have anything major in water signs for a second. Okay, for just a second. So we have Mercury in fire, the sun in fire, Venus in air, Mars in fire. Okay, and those are the personal planets, quote unquote, the ones closest to Earth that we see the effects of that move the fastest. Okay, so we've got all this air and fire energy. So it's not super emotional except for the fact that the moon moves into Pisces the same day. But just looking ahead a little bit with the transit of Mercury and Leo in general, it's only gonna last a couple of weeks. It's gonna be here until the 19th. So our communication is going to be very Leo. So we already see the sun in Leo. Like, I posted some stuff in my IG stories a little bit about like fashion and style and the attitude of Leo energy. Anything that's like being a diva or dramatic, fierce, all that stuff is all Leo. um Everything you do has flair or pizzazz to it, and you're so animated. Like, that's all Leo energy. People rocking more yellow colors, bright colors, but mostly yellow. Some oranges too. Orange is associated with Sagittarius more, because of Jupiter being orange, and the sun is yellow and it rules Leo. So more yellows with Leo, and people emphasizing their hair more, and people rocking animal print. You see, right away when the sun moved into Leo, you guys, I noticed like people rocking animal print. There's more pictures of people with like the cheetah print, all the different animal print. And wearing shades. Sunglasses are very associated with Leo. So people having more pictures like that. And also selfies are ruled by Leo. People taking selfies. Like, I noticed people just coming out of the freaking woodworks, excuse me, after months of, even of not posting any selfies. As soon as the sun switched into Leo, they're like, hey world, what's good? It's me. I'm back. And like, it's like, oh wow, hey, what's up? I haven't seen you post any pictures in a while. Selfies are ruled by Leo. People feeling themselves, having a lot of confidence, and just radiating that out there is Leo. So when Mercury enters here, the talk is more Leo. People will be patting themselves on the back more, so to speak, about their accomplishments and achievements, and their who they know. Like, oh, so I was just casually talking to Brad Pitt the other day. Yeah. Like, name dropping is very Leo. And so Mercury being there, people, if you know anybody that is anyone in your world, it doesn't have to mean like a world renowned celebrity, like in Hollywood or anything. It could be like, your corporation, if you work for a corporation. Like, so I was chatting with Bob Smith the other day. He's the CEO of the company. Like, that's very Mercury and Leo too. Be brown nosing and being in good with people, rubbing elbows with the elite and the higher up. That is definitely Mercury and Leo. Name dropping like a mother. So Mercury and Leo can be very bragging and boastful and proud. And also Leo rules children. So a lot of people who have children, they'll want to brag about their kids more and show off pictures of them and just talk about them. I used to work with this lady who, I don't remember what she had in Leo. She was super freaking Leo. I think she had Mercury in Leo. And every day when she'd come in, and this was like when I was living that cubicle life, okay, like super corporate-y cubicle life. I'm back there again, kind of, sort of, but no, this is like major corporate cubicle life. Hers was next to mine, and she would always just be talking about her kids all day, which is beautiful. And I'm a mom too, so I can relate. But it's like all day long. It's like, oh, and my kid did this, and look at the pictures, like every single day, all day long. So people will be more like that when Mercury's in Leo. They will just want to show off their creations, which are their kids, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not dissing on that. It's just when it's every single day, all day, it gets kind of redundant, and you're like, okay, you got anything else to talk about, lady? Because, and then she did have the Leo blonde hair, long blonde hair, big hair, whipping it around. Like, let me show you this picture of my kids, and then whip her blonde hair to the side so she could show you the photo. I was like, oh Lord, you are so Leo, lady. You are totally playing out your sign, okay? But anyway, Mercury and Leo can be very fun, very creative, much more louder communication and talking to. Leo tends to be the exhibitionist of the zodiac. One of the signs that could be very much the exhibitionist. All eyes and attention on me. Okay, that is Leo. So some people can be very loud and boastful about not even just their achievements and accomplishments, just whatever about themselves. Just to get attention. So that's the downside to it. And some people can be a little too pompous when Mercury's in Leo too, and drag out their words and be like, oh, I only accept the finest of the blah, 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 blah. Like that is I find that people that talk like that, they have Mercury in Leo or Aquarius. Those signs tend to drag their words out like that. Like, oh, well, I blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. I do know somebody with Mercury and Aquarius. Actually, I know two people. Their birthdays are right next to each other, and that is exactly how they talk sometimes. And I have to check them like, girl, you grew up on the west side in the fucking hood. Like, don't play. Like, you're talking to me, okay? Don't drag your words out like, oh, girl, come on. You know that we both used to shop at the Momo Mart or whatever. We both used to buy Dickies at the freaking market, okay? Whatever market is close. Stop dragging your words out like that, okay? Just stop. You don't have that invisible crown, girl. Just stop, okay? Like, oh, I don't do things like that. Well, you used to back in the day. Don't make me pull up the receipts, all right? Anyway, so Mercury and Leo can have people kind of talking like that and have that attitude. So just try not to speak in a holier than thou way that makes people feel down about themselves. Like you really are royalty and they're a freaking peasant. Like that's not cool. All right. So Mercury and Leo is going to be here until August 19th. Right away though, like the first couple of days even, I'm only covering through the 9th, but Mercury will begin to start to square Uranus. Now that's going to be exact on August 10th, but this whole week it's building up. So we've got the Sun square Uranus and Mercury square Uranus. So people's speech and communication could be a little more kooky and out there. I forgot to mention that with the Sun square Uranus, people expressing themselves can be like they're just letting loose a little bit more too. Not necessarily getting tattoos, piercings, wild hair, and crazy outfits. It can be just you are expressing yourself, like you're being more of your goofy self. And not so uptight. You know, Uranus breaks things through. It's about breakthroughs. So it breaks your mask and your shell open and reveals your true self. And if your true self is a little bit of a weirdo, you know, a little out there, then that's what's gonna start seeping through the cracks. So yeah, I've noticed that even with myself. I feel less uptight. Even though I'm working a regular job 6 days a week, but even there I'm still like, fuck it. Like I curse, I say whatever, and I wear whatever. And I think people know me enough now to know that I still do my work and I do my job, even though I'm a little out there and very noticeable. Like I'm quiet, but at the same time, like when I do speak, I'm speaking with less of a filter because of Uranus. And I am wearing different outfits to work. I'm not like strutting like in some Nicki Minaj stuff. Not dissing Nicki Minaj. She's dope. She's an Aquarius rising, so she's very outrageous with her outfits. I'm not like Nicki Minaj outrageous, but like a little couple steps down. You know what I'm saying right now? Couple steps down. But they don't mess with me. Well, knock on motherfucking wood, because Mars in my 6th house though. But anyway, it's like they know me. They know that even though I'm very Uranian like that, I'm still doing my work. Okay. So people are expressing themselves more authentically. And once Mercury steps into Leo, it's like, look at me and hear me. And then it's squaring Uranus. So it's like anything and everything goes with what comes out of my mouth. Okay. So that's how it is. Very animated. Probably very entertaining, because Leo rules entertainment. Okay, this is getting pretty long. I can talk a lot right now, so let's get to the next aspect, which is Venus conjunct the North Node on the 5th of August. So that means we have Venus at 28 degrees of Gemini, and we have Venus at 28 Gemini. And we have the North Node at 28 Gemini. Okay, so the exact aspect occurs like early in the day or the morning, wherever you're at. It's going to be exact. So Venus with the North Node. Now, this isn't like a once in a lifetime phenomenon either, although Venus and the North Node being in the same signs. This is once a year. It's once a year the North Node, it's in a sign once every 9 years or so. So once a year, every 9 years or so, try to do the damn math with me now, okay? You will have Venus in the same sign as a node, but once every 19 years or so, Venus and the North Node will be in the same sign. I'm correcting myself. It's still a little early, okay? But Venus and the North Node together in the same sign, actually that is not super rare, but it's only once every 18, 19, 20 years or so. So the last time Venus and the North Node were in Gemini was probably maybe around 2001. I'm sure I can look it up, but probably 2001, 2002, something like that. So this is actually rare. So wherever Gemini is in your chart, whatever house it's in, that's where you can have some sort of, maybe there could be a little magic that happens that day. If this lands in a love house for you, like if Gemini is your 5th house, your 7th house, or your 8th house, or if Venus rules any of those houses for you, like if you have Libra or Taurus as your 5th, your 7th, or your 8th houses, the North Node and Venus together may possibly do a little bing, like the tap of a magic wand that has a little star at the end, like a bing, in that area of your life. So, and also Venus does rule money and finances and material things. So if you have Gemini in your 2nd house, or maybe your 8th house, then you can have some magical money appear out of nowhere or something. Money that's owed to you, or money that you worked for, that you earned, and all of a sudden you get a raise or a boost or something like that. Or if Venus rules your 2nd or 8th houses, if you have Taurus or Libra in the 2nd or the 8th houses, you can see some financial gain possibly. For everybody else, it's not like, oh, we don't get anything special. No, this is collectively Venus still, no matter what sign it's in, it does rule money and love. So any and everyone can experience some acceleration of something that had been stagnant for a while, maybe possibly moving forward, especially because Venus is now out of her shadow period and retro. Halla motherfucking Luya. Oh, Venus retro, you guys. if I have the time, I may make a Venus retro follow-up video. I did do a Venus retrograde, Venus and Gemini video with two of my best astro pals, Astro Jack, and also the astrology lady Apollonia. And we talked about Venus retrograde, Venus and Gemini. A lot of Venus topics were covered. It's a very long video, but I did put timestamps under it. So go check that out here on my channel, you guys. And then Venus, as she is finishing up in Gemini, and then she comes and encounters the North Node, reflect back on the last few months of her being in Gemini, retro, and in shadow, and what has changed? What have you learned? What's now in the clear for you? You know, what realizations have you come to about anything that Venus rules? And Venus does rule self-worth and value and your appearance and self-love and all of that. So a lot of us could have learned something, you know, been taught a lesson, or just come to a realization about something that has to do with those things. And then when she's with the North Node, it kind of like pushes and moves those things forward, or maybe gives some sort of blessing, hopefully. Now, they do say that the North Node, aka in Eastern astrology, it is Rahu, and it's the dragon's head. And the dragon's head has the last half of its body, the bottom half of its body is missing. So it has an insatiable appetite for something. So when Venus encounters a North Node, someone can have an insatiable appetite for Venusian things. So you may be on an obsessive quest for something that Venus rules. That can be love, it can be money, it can be even just food. Like your appetite increases, your cravings increase. Spending, maybe you're like obsessively spending money on certain things, you know, and it can do something like that. And it is directly opposing the South Node, which this stupid website does not show the South Node, but it's directly opposite at 28 of Sagittarius. Venus is opposing the South Node, so it could be like stepping into something new and letting go of something from the past to step into a new world with Venus things, okay? So hopefully that day brings something good. I am going to be praying and crossing my fingers a lot, okay? So Venus with the North Node, yeah, in Gemini. Now Venus encounters the North Node every year, but it landing in the same sign, in a particular sign, that's the rarity of once every like 18 to 20 years roughly. So then the last thing I'm going to cover, oh, you know what? I haven't even covered the moon phases, you guys. Well, the moon is in Pisces. She steps into Pisces on the 4th? On the 4th of August. And she encounters Neptune on the 6th of August, which is, you're in La La Land, you're in Dreamland. It's really hard to keep track of things, keep track of time, keep track of yourself, keep track of your responsibilities. It's hard to keep track, okay? And you want to sleep, you're tired, you want to sleep in. You might be running late for things. But it's very romantic, dreamy, spiritual, and all of that good stuff, and creative too. So then the moon shifts into Aries on the 7th of August. The moon shifts into Aries. So we have the moon moving into Aries, and we have Venus moving into Cancer on that day too. So the moon goes into Aries, and then the mood is like super fiery. We have the moon in Aries, Mars in Aries, Sun in fire in Leo, and Mercury in Leo in fire. So we have this fiery attitude. And then we have Venus in Gemini for like a hot second on that day too. So we've got like air and fire all in the mix, all up in the weather. So what does that mean? Lots of initiative and action and stuff going on, and more logical thinking, like actions being based more on logic and logic and impulse. So this could be a really good week to just get things done. Get things moving. Things that you may have been like stagnant on, because Cancerian energy, it dwells and wallows in emotion. You know, it's not action oriented very much, okay? Not as much as like air or fire signs. Water is not, okay? And earth even, not action oriented. We get shit done, we do, but we're not like take off and just go woo and just, we're very strategic and methodical, and we take time, So Leo and Aries in the air on the 7th, very much, like I said, action oriented. So good day to just get things done, get things moving, start things, initiate things, with Aries being a cardinal sign in the mix. But people can be angrier. People can be more like, oh, you don't know who I am. How dare you treat me that way or talk to me like that, and just like wild out because of that. So just be aware of that. But yeah, Moon in Aries can have people just impatient, impulsive, and then it's in fire. People can act entitled and impatient. So just watch out for that. But it is really good for action. Now we do have Venus moving into Cancer starting on August 7th. Looks like early in the day, or could be afternoon where you're at. So Venus in Cancer, she is hanging out there for almost exactly a month. So she's there until September 6th. Venus in Cancer, so she douses us with water again. Some more water sign energy in the mix. Yes, it's Leo season. Leos are twerking and all this stuff. One leg in the air like, hey, it's Leo time. But we have Venus in Cancer during your quote unquote season. So she is sensitive. She is nurturing. She asks you, have you eaten yet? And if you say no, it breaks her motherfucking heart. All right? That's how Venus in Cancer is. Or if you cry and say, my mommy doesn't love me, Venus in Cancer, she'll cry with you and then mother you. Say, I will adopt you in, bring you into her bosom, and then go bake you some cookies or something. That's Venus in Cancer's vibe. So we have a whole month of that. But she does take things very personally when it comes to love and money. And she may not act logically based upon logic. Okay. She is nostalgic. She hangs on to the past, clings to the past desperately, So she doesn't forget about things from the past. So yeah, that's Venus in Cancer. When Venus is in Cancer, we can see that incorporated into fashion and styles too. We have Leo energy pop in, so all the Leo stuff I mentioned. But when Venus is in Cancer, we will have like the color pink sprinkled into the mix more, because Venus in Cancer is super femme. Pink, the color white, especially, hopefully I'm saying the right word, opalescent, I want to say, like, the moonstone, for those of you who are into like stones and crystals and stuff like that. Moonstone is the stone of Cancer, and it looks like the moon and very like reflective, and I cannot think of the term, but you know how it like shimmers and stuff, right? That color white. I actually have a shirt I haven't worn yet. It's super femme, and it's like that color, that moon white color. I can't wait to rock that shirt. I'm definitely rocking it when Venus is in Cancer, you guys. It's super girly. Not work attire, but you know what I'm saying? Your homegirl may try to get past that a little bit, especially with Uranus buzzing right at my sun degree exactly. Yo. I'm gonna see what I can get away with so I can rock that shirt. But anyway, we may see stuff a lot more feminine, soft, like pink and white and silver, along with like the gold and stuff with Leo energy come into the mix with fashion. If you have bosoms that are nice, that's Venus in Cancer all day, showing them off more. Even if you are a male and you have a nice chest, Cancer rules that area too. And tis the season to show it off, honey. Okay, I'll be looking forward. All right. But it's the summertime, at least in the hemisphere that I'm in, the part of the region of the planet that I'm in. It's the summertime. Summer is ruled by Cancer and Leo mostly, so that's why shirts are off. People are in the sun. Leo energy, just getting all shiny and stuff, and a little burnt, you know what I'm saying, and have the chest out and the bosoms and all that, the breasts and all that stuff. Yes, that is very Venus in Cancer. So what else is Venus in Cancer? enjoying time with family and being super attached to feminine family figures, or feminine or maternal figures in your family, and reflecting upon family history and having cookouts and barbecues and carne asadas and get-togethers with family. Venus does rule food, Cancer rules family, so just do the math. Okay, so there's a lot more of that when Venus is in Cancer. And yeah, then we have an Aries moon popping. Moon and Mars will be together on August 8th, I believe. Yeah, like the 8th and the 9th of August. Moon and Mars together in Aries. Yo. Just try to keep yourselves calm. Woo-sa, okay? Just try to keep yourselves calm during that time, to where you're not popping off emotionally, because the moon rules emotions and Mars is anger, and Aries is a freaking angry ass sign that loves to fight and pop off, and then 2 seconds later be like, okay, I got all that out, now I'm normal, so what's good, we can hang out or what? And you're like, yo, didn't you just curse me out, like be a fucking fire breathing dragon on me? Like, now I'm sitting here burnt and toasted, and now you're like, but I still love you, let's hang out. Like, really? That's what this can be like. So it's more so like it's on the 8th and into the 9th, okay, of August. So August 9th, the moon is still in Aries. And I think it's going to switch to Taurus on that day. I didn't write good enough notes, I guess. But so I'm kind of freestyling a little bit. Okay, so yeah, in the evening on August 9th, or it could be into the 10th, wherever you're at, this is when the moon shifts into Taurus. The vibe is a little more smooth, okay? It's a little more smooth for a hot second until the moon hits Uranus. Then once after it gets past Uranus, it's smooth sailing. But that's more what I'm going to cover next week, from the 9th through the 16th of August. Okay, so that is this week, you guys. I had a lot to say. I hope you were able to listen to everything and have the attention span for it. And if you did, thank you so much, because your girl can talk. Okay, and I hope this served as a helpful guide of navigation through the cosmic weather for the week. It is a little crazy, but I wouldn't say it's super duper crazy, but it's a little crazy. Okay. Oh, and I did talk about Mars and Pluto squaring each other, and that square building up. Yeah, it's still building this current week too. It's not going to be exact until the next week that I cover, but like I said, just watch for creepy McCreepersons. Oh, I told you guys last week a story. Yeah, that aspect was building up, and then Mercury was opposing Pluto, and there was this creepy McCreeperson that was sitting behind me, and I can feel him watching me, and then he'd walk by me by my desk all the time, and I'm like, why? And he's like googling, like when he talked to me, he didn't even blink, and I'm like, where's the Scorpio in your chart? Do I even want to know? No, how about I just run over there? Like, leave me alone. And finally I got moved to a different area. So no more creeper, no more creepy McCreeperson. Like, yo, I'm sorry. We Scorpios, we attract that, like bees to honey, man. It's wild. It's crazy. But yes, no, you guys watch out. Oh, and I got a lot of DMs from girls that were telling me about dudes acting creepier this past week. Yes, I got several DMs about that. Like, girl, you wouldn't believe what happened. Your stuff you were talking about on your video is true. Oh my God. And I'm like, just send them a bunch of googly eye emojis, like, watch yourself, be safe out there. So anyway, that aspect is still building. Mars is still squaring Jupiter. It is also developing a square to Pluto. But excuse me, the Mars square Jupiter, did I not cover that? Jeez, I am still like not all the way awake, you guys. Mars square Jupiter is exact on August 3rd. My bad. It's exact on August 3rd, on August 4th. The 3rd and 4th. That means that you can kind of jump and fly into things that you might regret. Aries is head first into shit without looking at the consequences. And then Jupiter is also just having full faith and belief in things, and you jump and fly, and who cares about tomorrow, right? And then, but it's in Capricorn, which can be about disciplinary actions, consequences, rules. Somebody with an old elderly person waving a shaky finger at you that's like, you shouldn't do that because let me go down the rule book. Hold on, let me go find it off the shelf and let me shoo the dust off of it. Let me see, what page is that rule on? Oh my god. Yo, you guys, I'm not dissing on Capricorns. Like, I hate Capricorn. No. Okay, please don't think that. I have close people that are very close people to me that are Cappies. But let me tell you, working with Cappies, that is totally the attitude. I have this, like, I had to deal with a Cap this past week, grading some of my work at my main job, and I don't even know her birthday. I barely know the woman's name, okay? But just looking at her shoes, and because another Astro Homegirl, shout out to Rabina Rasaban. You guys need to check her out on YouTube here, you guys. She gives 100% facts and truth about each sign, good or bad. She says that Cappy women, they have, a lot of them tend to, because they're all about work and business, they dress in work attire even outside of work, and they have these ugly black shoes that look like goat hooves. I was like, yo, oh my gosh, she's straight clowning, but it's true. It's so true. All the Cappy women I know, they're like, yeah, that's true. I'm not gonna deny it. They're not denying it. This woman had the Cappy goat hoof shoes, y'all, and she was like, well, you made a mistake here, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what I did wrong. Okay, now let's move on. And she's like, no, now let's open the book of rules, and let me see, it's on page blah blah, section blah. And I'm just sitting there rolling my eyes, like, woman. Just tell me what the hell I did wrong. I see what I did wrong. I'm acknowledging it. Can we move forward? Like, oh my God. So that's how Cappy energy can act. So I say that to say, Mars square Jupiter, watch your actions, because you can have some Cappy consequences that are slow and pointing fingers at you and pointing out the thing. And it could be irritating. So if you want to take some actions with Mars and Aries, just about like right now, let's do this. I want to do this. Just be aware of the consequences before you do, okay? Because you don't want that annoying aftermath, okay? So I'm gonna leave it there, you guys. Thank you so much for listening and or watching, and I hope you have a good week. Don't forget to follow me on IG, because I do post horoscope stuff mostly in my stories, and I have a tab on there, highlights tab, that is labeled horoscopes, and there's some other learn astrology tips on there too in my highlights. So go check them out, and have a good week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.